Swifty, a great weekend for Gas fans. Final result over at Swindon for the Rovers, combined with a shocking defeat for City.
Yeah, I think as far as Rovers fans are concerned, you probably don't get many better weekends than that, I think. But I mean, looking at it purely from the Rovers' point of view, it was a good performance and a tremendous result. Their biggest win so far this season, first win at the county ground for 10 years, and in fact their biggest ever win at the county ground.
It didn't seem to be expected at all, although there were some predictions inside the club.
Yeah, I'd spoken to somebody from within inside the club on Friday who confidently informed me they were going to go there and win 3-0 on Saturday. He was wrong, but his prediction was a lot closer than the one I managed to put in the paper on Friday. I don't think really anybody would have seen that coming, given the the Rovers' sort of away performances in the build-up to that. They'd not won an away game for over 5 months. It had been over 11 hours since they scored an away goal, and then they scored 3 in 21 minutes in a quite devastating period of the first half. It has to be said that they did ride their luck a little bit the first 20 minutes. I mean, Swindon could easily have scored. They hit the woodwork from a free kick in the opening couple of minutes. Steve Elliott poured out off a tremendous block as well to prevent Charlie Austin scoring, and had Rovers gone one down when Swindon had their tails up, which they did over the first 20 minutes, then it could have been different. But all credit to Rovers. I mean, they got the goals when it mattered. They defended very well, and as Paul Trollope said afterwards, they were very, very good in both boxes.
Paul Heffernan seemed to be an important part of that win. What's his situation?
I thought he had a tremendous game actually on Saturday, not just with his goal, but with his link-up play with Joker 4 and his work rate, his control and his experience. He's made a big difference. His loan spell's up at the moment, but Rovers are looking to extend it. Paul wants to stay. We did a piece in the paper on Saturday with him saying that. And I would expect that over the next 24 to 48 hours there'd probably be confirmation, as long as there's no problems at the Doncaster end, that he will be here for at least another month and hopefully until the end of the season.
And I guess the key thing now for Rovers is to maintain the form. They've got that win, and it's been the story of the season, that lack of consistency. Yeah,
the home form's not been too bad. They've won 2 on the bounce at home now, but it's been their away form that's been the problem. Hopefully now that monkey's off their back, and with a good performance and a good result at Swindon, hopefully they can kick on now, as you said, put some consistency together towards the end of the season. Paul Trollope made the point after the game on Saturday that the situation they're in now is very similar to the one they found themselves in 2007, when of course they put that tremendous run together, won 8 of the last 12 games I think, to sneak into the playoffs and then get out of League 2 via Wembley. It might be a long shot, I think, asking them to do that again, because obviously League 1 is a higher standard, a higher level. They've still got some very tough games to come, particularly the 2 last games of the season where they got Norwich at home and Leeds away. And from what I've seen so far, I think you have to say that Norwich and Leeds are probably the 2 best teams in that division by some distance. Leeds having a wobble at the moment. Rovers hope maybe they could both be promoted or both already up by the time Rovers face them, but there's still a lot of water to go under the bridge before then, and Rovers have got to keep this run going. They're at home to Tranmere on Saturday. They were poor at Tranmere earlier in the season when they lost up at Prenton Park, so they need to put that right and get another home win on Saturday.
Is it dangerous to raise that playoff phrase?
I think it's difficult, because I think there is a level of expectation almost among the fans, because they saw the team do it in 2007. And as I said, the situation they're in now is very similar to the situation they were in then. But I think you've got to realise that it was a hell of an achievement putting that run together. And of course they had Ricky Lambert banging in the goals for them at that stage. So it is a big ask doing again. It's not impossible. I mean, they're very, but it is a big ask.
There was a big turnaround from the result at the last game at home, when the fans, they got the 3 points, but they weren't happy with the performance at all.
I don't blame them. I mean, the performance I think was poor. It was just a dreadful game. It looked like 2 poor sides. Rovers certainly looked a bit tired and jaded. Stockport had come, to try and get what they could out of the game. They weren't a great side by any great shakes, and it was just generally a very poor game. But Rovers on Saturday looked a completely different team. That's the thing about Rovers this season. You just don't know which Rovers you're going to get from one sort of Saturday to the next. But they looked a very different team on Saturday. Paul Trollope said afterwards that's the level they've got to reach every week now. And if they can do that, although there's no guarantee they will, because I said they've been consistently inconsistent for much of the campaign. But if they can reach that level, sort of 8 times out of 10 over the next, the run into the end of the season, then they could be there or thereabouts.
Well, hopefully the Rovers fans will enjoy their crowing this week, and they've got something to crow about next Saturday.
Let's hope so.
Cheers.